Hello, my name is Brian Nagley. I'm here in southern New Hampshire. It's August 2nd, 2026, and I have a particular situation, and I'm going to be maneuvering a hive in a very particular way, so I figured this would be a good video to start with. And what I have with an original hive that we've split 8 times is it's still bearding. It's in the original position, and you may know, but all of the forager energy has really stayed with this hive through the year. So we've actually thrown some cut comb on the top, and they're filling it up pretty well. But they're, we're in August 2nd. They're overflowing right now, and I can't throw another box on because the the nectar that'll be going into the cut comb box will then become wax, and so I don't want to do that. I want them to continue filling it. I have one other hive in the yard that really could use some bees. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the entrance reducer off the front of the hive, and then I'm going to shake some nurse bees from this hive over into this one. And any bees that are field force or foragers that go into there will just come out and they'll come back to this hive. So we're not going to lose any honey production. We're just going to make a little room in that hive without stealing their ability to continue making honey. Off the top of my head, this should be right, but if you put in a large deep box and you're trying to relieve them, it takes 10 pounds of nectar to make a frame of wax. So like I said, again, if I were to just add an empty box, I don't have any comb that's filled out. If I were to just add a box, they wouldn't be able to fill that with honey. So that's what we're doing. Forever setting my hive tool where I'm not. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the queen in this hive here, and I'm going to get her in a queen clip and put her in my pocket. I don't want to throw her in this hive because that'd be the end of it. Wouldn't be the end. We need to make another queen. So what I'm doing here is removing our honey super, giving them a little bit of smoke. So hopefully they're not too angry. See them wearing gloves today. This hive is super spicy. Strips that I'm pulling out. Actually really calm this morning. Huh. Smoke them down a little bit so when we're picking frames we don't squish them too bad. There is some weird comb in here, so that's another reason why I'm wearing gloves. There's a good chance of rolling them in this hive because they've got it so darn full of nectar and honey and funky comb. Got a lot of drones. We made a lot of drones this year because we're making a lot of queens. So there they are. We still got a lot of drones. Just gonna set them over here. Now what I could do is look and say, well, I didn't see the queen, and go ahead and dump a bunch of nurse bees in the other box. Problem with that is if I miss her and she goes in there, then they're gonna have to make a new queen, and we're already in August, so they won't have it till September. It's good to have brood breaks, it gets rid of mites, but I have had new queens made in September and it goes alright, but why take a chance? I'll set that one aside too, because this box is awful full. When doing hive inspections, you're not normally going to take it apart to this extent and look at every single frame, but like I said, we got to find the queen so I can dump as many bees as possible into that other hive and not worry about it at all. Normally this hive is very defensive, but they're doing really good right now. If I want to boost that hive, I could also take a full frame like this one and put it in there, but it won't be necessary. We got enough time. I'm just going to shake in some bees. If this was mid to end September, yeah. If the other hive was worth saving, I'd move a whole frame of brood. If a hive could spare it. This will be the last frame I pull. Kind of why I didn't want to take the first frame out of this side, because I kind of had a feeling she was down here. I want to squish her. Swarm cells there, they might be getting ready to swarm. This could help them out with that too. This is where we're going to find her in the last three. This is where she's been. The bees are getting super defensive. Rolled some bees, there they are, they're angry. What happens when they pile in the corners of the frames though? You're going to see the queen here. She's not going to be on an empty frame. down. I'm super angry. Should have started with this frame. Really had a feeling she was right here. Yep, and she is. And I bring you and show you, but they're really, really mad. Oh, where'd you go? So this is a whole drone frame. As you can imagine, it's really hard to see the queen here. Let her walk up into this clip. There we go. Now the queen's in my pocket, so now I can dump as many bees as I want into the other hive, and I am going to dump a bunch of bees in there. So as you can see, I've got all kinds of sugar and things on top because these guys are very small. I figured I'd feed them. They can get some actual stores put away for winter. Forgot my peroxidant strips. Actually, I forgot the queen. I gotta put her back in the other hive. I always forget it, but I always remember it before I'm done. She's riding here in my pocket. This is just the feeder top, so gotta get all the bees out of there. Come on, you too. Get her back on the frame she was on. Alright, here we are. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have no bearding on this hive. This is the one we're working on that we emptied frames out of earlier. And removing that 3-inch entrance and removing 3 or 4 frames of bees has accomplished what we needed to accomplish. The beginning of the video was this morning. And like I said, it's about 86 degrees. It's super muggy. What I wasn't able to show before was that this hive yesterday, when it was only 80 degrees, was filling up underneath this roof. It was entirely filled with bees, and probably 3 to 5 inches under the board was hanging down, so probably something like a third of the box was outside of the hive because of the heat. And there's other things I could have done, but they would have resulted in the bees making wax, like adding a super of foundation. I could have also put in a slatted rack, but the bees would build bridges, little bumps of wax going up into the hive, and that also takes from the nectar collection. And what I have on top of there are some shallow cut comb frames that are nearly full, so we wanted to finish that, and I didn't want to distract them from that. And I took that one on the very end, the small one, small 8-framer on the very end. We opened up that one as well because it was bearding really bad, and the rest of them we left them. And that's kind of a buffer. If they start bearding, then I can move that. But I like those thick entrances with only 3 inches. It helps keep the mice out. And this guy right here seems far more active. This hive here, because we added a whole bunch of bees. And anyway, that's it.